I did not have a prenup. I asked for one, and I was told, Ash, I have known you since we were 20 years old. I've watched you build everything. I would never, ever take that from you. And I trusted him. I lost everything that I worked for since I was 17. A lot of my friends were like, Ash, you need a prenup. I mean, I built everything that I have. I didn't come from generational wealth. I didn't come from any type of inheritance. Like, everything that I have, I did it by myself. They're like, you need to protect that. You need to protect that.
This is exactly what every man has been saying. You need to protect what you've earned. And for the first time ever, women are supporting prenups because they're making money. There are so many videos on the internet about how prenups are a red flag. I'll just play a few of them right now.
I would not have married my husband if he made me sign a prenup.
The idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup incredibly offensive, and only one way. Like, if I asked someone to sign a prenup because I had some like booming business, then I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because like I don't want to like lose all my money. But then like if a guy asked you to sign a prenup, I would be like, I would call off the wedding. Like, I would literally call off the wedding.
My last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not. I think that's bogus. I'm not going to sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, no, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for. And I think that's fair.
And I can give you thousands of videos just like this where women are just talking shit about prenups and how prenups are terrible. It has never made sense to me why people don't support prenups, because if you've worked your entire life to create some kind of income, some kind of lifestyle for yourself, why would you want that to be taken care of if something does not work out romantically with somebody else? If you watch her podcast, it's very sad. It's traumatized her. And I think a lot of people feel sympathy towards her because she's a woman. But this is the same story of every single divorced man. They work their entire life to create something for themselves, and then it doesn't work out romantically with the girl, and then they lose everything. She uses this example in her podcast where she says, just because you put a seatbelt on, it doesn't mean that you're wishing for the car to crash or you're preparing for the car to crash. It's the same thing with a prenup. Just because you get a prenup, it doesn't mean that you want the marriage to fail. Prenups are just a way for you to decide how things would happen, God forbid if it doesn't work out, instead of the court getting involved and basically just separating assets in a very unfair way. Now that women are more successful than ever, I think we're going to see a lot of women in favor of prenups. And prenups are going to become a regular thing, as they should be.
If his money is your money, then what do you owe him? A feminine woman doesn't just spend a man's money. She multiplies it. What does that mean? You buy her a house, she turns it into a home. You take her on a trip, she turns it into memories. You give her love, she gives you children. You give her provision, she gives you peace, beauty, and stability. That's multiplication. That's why men who provide feel like kings, because their woman makes their investment expand in ways money ever could. A woman's obligation isn't to split bills. It's to multiply the life you're building together.
Or she could multiply the problems that you already have. There's so much content on the internet like this that sound wonderful on a podcast, but in technicality, it has absolutely no utility. Anytime you have a beautiful, exotic, feminine woman in your life, she is going to cost money. Obviously, it's not just providing for her in the financial aspect, it's the physical, it's the emotional, it's the spiritual, but she's going to take resources from you in exchange for luxury, comfort, emotional stability, so on and so forth. And I understand her point, I get what she's saying here, but at the same time, I think it needs to be said very clearly that women are going to cost you money if you have women in your life. So my whole thing is, don't create an expectation. No matter what she's telling you, don't create an expectation of what a woman can do for you. You're going to have to do it by yourself as a man. And it's the expectation that's honestly going to kill you more than anything else. Because the way that she's mapping it out, this is what's going to happen. If you're with a feminine woman and God forbid you don't have money anymore, you can't invest anymore, then number one, she's going to just leave you because her job is not to split bills. Or number two, she's just going to be chained to you for the rest of your life and create a lot more problems that you even signed up for. My advice to all the men out there is, yes, when you meet women, you're going to spend money on them, but try to find one that's going to help you build and grow. And for all my ladies out there subscribing to this idea that a man's going to take care of everything financially, it's really, really difficult to put that into practice, because the amount of men that can actually provide a lifestyle for you in today's economy is like less than 20%. And then you got to factor in those that are single, that are not married, that are looking for a relationship, and that are in that mindset to provide. And you have a very, very, very small percentage. And every girl is going after this small percentage of men. This whole idea of a masculine man does this, a feminine woman does this. What happened to just people coming together and like, you got this, I got this, let's work together, let's be a team? Because that is truly what relationships are about. It seems like more and more men are putting their house in their mother's name. Watch this video.
Is under?
Doesn't matter whose name it is under. All that matters is that we're divorced and this house which I've paid for isn't for you.
Well, you haven't paid for it, but it's not under your name, no?
Well, no, it doesn't matter whose name it is for.
Well, it does, because we were together.
Okay, well, I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
Well, why are we living in it then?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because if you
Well,
divorced...
no, yeah, we're not living in it anymore, are we? Well, I am.
So how long are you going to keep that a surprise for then?
It doesn't matter. You didn't pay a single penny for the house.
I contributed my fair share to this place.
How did you?
Cooking, cleaning, one less thing for you to...
Oh!
Men, when you ask a woman out for coffee, I feel like this is what you think. When they decline, I think you're like, well, see, they only wanted my money. and they think that I don't have anything, and I just didn't want to go out with someone who wants me for my money. So now that she canceled, I know that she was a gold digger. That's what I think you're thinking. Women are thinking this. Hey, he invited me for a cup of coffee. I know through other men who are teaching women how to invest in themselves and find a partner who actually wants to go out with them and get to know them, has told me this is very low value. I have to decline this because this person doesn't value me and probably goes out with a bunch of other people for coffee, and I want someone who's making an investment up front and shows me that they care and put some thought into this date.
Someone invites you to go get coffee, however you want to say it. It does not mean that they think you're low value. If someone takes you out to a nice fancy restaurant, it does not mean that they're in love with you and they want to marry you. Coffee is just a way for people to get to know you. That's it. It's a way to break the ice. It's 30-40 minutes of deep interaction that is then going to be followed up with a real date. You can text, call, and FaceTime all day. You're never really going to understand somebody unless they're sitting in front of you and you feel the chemistry, the vibe, the energy, and the connection that they have with you in real life. So the first interaction should be very low effort, and then from there you should invest more energy, more time, more effort, more resources into the partnership that you guys are going to build.
An older woman with a younger guy is completely fine and cute, but an older guy with a younger girl is kind of gross.
Why?
Older men dating younger girls can be really creepy, and it can get really weird really fast. He just wants to feel younger again, and he wants to feel attractive again. But when older women do it, it's cute because it gives them that sense of freedom back, and women have this stigma of aging super poorly. Men are known to kind of be predators a little more. Like, all of their friends are their age, except for like their girlfriend. But I mean, like, hey, if that's what gets the girl money, like, I'm not judging her, I'm judging the man. What the man is doing is kind of poor, and it's not good, like, morally, like, to go after a younger person knowing that he has an advantage over her. The woman is doing it, I don't know, I think she's being smart. She's hopping on an opportunity. He's going out and literally searching for younger women, and it's just like, are you smart enough to jump in the way and take the opportunity, ride the wave home?
I dated a 50-year-old woman in my early 20s, so I want to weigh in on this a little bit. A lot of people ask me about age gaps in relationships, what's acceptable and what is not. And the answer is, as long as your maturity level aligns, then you can do whatever you want. There's definitely situations where you find it hard to believe where the relationship is just extremely transactional, but if they're both consenting adults, then they can do whatever they want. And if the relationship does not work out, it's a lesson. Sometimes you have to go through it to grow through it. And relationships can really teach you a lot about yourself, what you like and what you definitely don't like. You can say that something is predatory, you can say that something is cute, but if both people want to talk to each other, they understand the risks and consequences with it, then leave them alone, let them do what they want to do, and just mind your own business. I learned a lot from the relationship that I was in. Even though she was twice my age, it was still a wonderful relationship. It did not work out because we had different goals in life. I eventually wanted a family, she did not. But I don't regret it. I wouldn't do it any other way. Every relationship, even the bad ones, are going to teach you something, and you have to pay attention to the lessons that life's going to give you.
Your most attractive friends are single. Yeah, here's why. I know you know. I know you're thinking of that one friend, like that one Becky that you're like, she's hot as fuck, but she literally has never had a boyfriend. Yeah, here's why. The boys, the men, the Jimmy, the John, the James are all afraid of getting their ego hurt, okay? Men go for who they can, and women go for who they want. And when you go for someone that you want, not knowing if they want you back, sometimes you get rejected. But because men are so scared of getting their ego hurt, they won't go for someone that they think will say no to them or will reject them. Because God forbid, Jimmy John Jr. has to get rejected. How is he going to explain that to his friends? He thinks he's Mucho Man. Girls don't just go for what they can. They have standards, and they don't just go for, the bottom of the barrel, but men settle, and that's the truth.
No, it's not. This post is doing nothing but encouraging your delusions. And I don't know this girl, but if you know me, I operate off the data. So I'm going to tell you the facts right now. By the numbers, the most single women are deemed the most unattractive by society. But when it comes to attractive women, a lot of attractive women are single because they want to be single. And you might be asking why, but some of you have been around the block and know exactly what I'm talking about. When a woman is young and attractive, they have a different level of penetration in the world itself. Getting flown out, getting taken out to dinner, getting VIP invites to the hottest event. Attractive women really have life by the balls because they effectively have men by the balls. So a lot of women in this category choose to be single because no one man can provide all the experiences, all the stimulation, all the activities versus a world of men that want to get in your pants. The other reason is that attractive women get a lot of attention. And there's almost an analysis paralysis when it comes to choosing the best option to date. There is never anyone that's good enough for her or that meets her standard of what she's looking for. And the third reason an attractive woman would be single is because she's a narcissist. Good-looking girls get validated by guys all the time, even when they're completely wrong. And I honestly can't blame them because their entire reality a lot of times is men saying that you're perfect, you're an angel, I would marry you, I would do anything for you, so on and so forth. It is completely false that attractive women are single because no guys approach them. If you're an attractive woman, you know this firsthand. Men of all calibers, the billionaires, the millionaires, the broke boys, the weirdos, all in between will approach you and try to seduce you. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with being single because you want to enjoy yourself. There's nothing wrong with not dating somebody because they don't fit your standards of what you want in life. And while a majority of people would say this is wrong, it's not illegal to be a narcissist and live in your delusions. There are a lot of beautiful, attractive girls that are great people, but being single is 100% a valid choice for attractive women because they get the most attention out of any women on the market.
I just went on a date with a man, and then this other girl walks into the bar and he leaves. I go to the bathroom, I come back. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna go. We walk outside. The bartender, who I'm very good friends with because my best friend works at this bar, is like, yeah, he just left. I cannot do it. I can't date men anymore.
He walked out on $450. That's not even a date. That's a car note with mozzarella sticks. Ladies, I've been telling you to go on the coffee date. Cause worst case, you lost $5 in almond milk foam. Best case scenario, you find somebody that you can connect with. I don't think anybody in history has been stuck paying a $450 Starbucks tab on the first date. This is exactly why those fancy, expensive first dates never work out. So take it as an L, coffee date next time.
You seem shocked that Megan Fox got cheated on again. But what if I told you the only reason you deal with a woman of that caliber is to then unlock all the girls that want to sleep with Megan Fox's boyfriend?
I'm going to explain why this actually makes sense. Megan Fox has been everyone's dream girl since the first Transformers. In fact, her entire acting career has revolved around her sex appeal, with movies like Jennifer's Body and more recently Subservient. So how does one of the most desired girls in history get cheated on? The first thing that you have to understand is that desire sexually does not equate to value and loyalty. The other reason is for something called pre-selection in biology, but we also call it mate choice copying in evolutionary psychology. And unfortunately, this works differently between men and women. When a man gets attention, commitment, validation from an attractive woman, it boosts his dating options. Any attractive girl understands this. When you date a guy and you're an attractive girl, other women look at him as well, because they look at that guy and they say, oh, he bagged her? He must have something going on. And so other women will try to come after your man, not necessarily because they were intrinsically attracted to him, but because you have validated his attractiveness, or they're trying to get a one-up on you because they want to feel more valuable than you. And they feel like by getting your man, they can be better than you. And in the case of Megan Fox, her beauty can also be a curse when it comes to her dating and relationships. Another thing I want to say is that if a man chooses you based on your attraction, you're actually more likely to get cheated on, because his choosing mechanism for who he commits to is based off temptation, lust, desire, and sexual appeal. I don't know the dynamics of Megan Fox's relationships, but I'm sure that her looks and her sexual appeal has a lot to do with her selection in dating somebody. Moral of the story is, no matter how good you look, you cannot beauty your way into loyalty. You have to pick a man that has those characteristics. So choose wisely.
Men don't really approach women in the wild anymore. This is something that is very common. We all know this at this point. Dating apps, shout out. I understand it can be intimidating, but I just got a really good compliment. And it wasn't even like a good compliment. It was just like a good segue to like have a conversation. This guy, very kindly, I could see him staring at me and I'm like, oh, here we go, you know? And he just goes, I really like your dress. And that was it. And then he left me alone. And if he had kept going with the conversation, would I have talked to him? Yeah. Because that was normal.
The amount of women that tell me that men don't approach in public anymore is at an all-time high. I get so many messages about this. Why are men not approaching? And there are 3 major reasons why. But just for the record, approaching women in person is the #1 way to get to know them. In-person interactions still, by far, statistically, have the highest rate of conversion from conversation to first date to relationship. First, let me get this out of the way. It's not because they're scared of rejection. Yes, there's a percentage of men that are scared to talk to women. I'm not talking about these guys. They're always going to exist in society. I'm talking about the men that are single, they like women, they want to talk to women, and they want to meet women. They know they got game, they know they're attractive. Why are these men not approaching women? Reason number 1, it's the cell phone culture that we live in. This might be obvious, but the implications of this are actually staggering. We talk more to people on the phone and on the computer than we actually do in person. And what this means is that people are not good at in-person communication. In fact, it makes a lot of people nervous. Not necessarily the person that's talking to you, but the person that's being talked to. We are constantly either in Zoom, Google Meet, FaceTime, on our cell phones, with our AirPods in. It doesn't create a good environment for people to approach. If I see someone with their AirPods in, looking at their phone while they're on the street, I'm not going to go disturb them because I don't know what they're doing. Number 2, because of the convenience of the internet, social media, and dating apps. I know some of you might not be a fan of internet dating, but guess what? It works. People are meeting online, whether you like it or not. Going out in public, finding a girl that you like, finding out if she's single, then trying to find a good time to approach her is a lot harder than sitting in your bedroom, sitting on your toilet, and just mass messaging girls that you can find and source through the internet. Personally, I think the internet is great for connecting people, but I'm not a fan of keeping the conversation over text, over the phone. I like to meet people and talk to them. Last but not least, this is the biggest reason, in my opinion, and I don't think people are talking about it enough, and it is the risk of being called creepy. A woman can reject a guy. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of men that have approached women in public have been shamed, have been ridiculed. They've become some TikTok story where a girl's talking about her day. Oh, this guy approached me. He was like this, that, and the third. And they don't want to deal with that anymore. No guy wants to be labeled as creepy. And approaching a woman, then to be laughed at, then to be mocked, then to be basically harassed after the fact with internet content, it's just not worth it for a lot of guys. And 100%, this is not all women, but there are a lot of women that go online, that talk about it, that gossip, and make fun of men for trying to shoot their shot with you. Every single woman should watch this video. I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Very pro-woman, amazing, like strong, independent women, but might I add another angle? I would feel like, why the hell ain't no one trying to scoop me up to save my life? Am I ugly? Are they better looking than me? Like, why are they getting saved and I'm over here working, taking on extra shifts now because she got Richard Gere that came and scooped her up and now she got an easy life and now I got extra corns on my toes and my back hurts because no one's saving me. So you have a very positive attitude. I would have been a little bitter, like, why the fuck? Why not me? Why not? I don't want to be irresponsible. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of the goddamn cape. Somebody save me. I want to be Julia Roberts on Hollywood Boulevard in cheap shoes when some guy comes and saves me. I have worked hard since I was 14 and I had to pay. I'm sick of it, Erica.
I do understand.
It's a thankless
I understand
job
what you're
being
saying.
classy and independent. It's thankless. I've been dating since the 1900s and 80 something, and I'm still single. I'm tired, Erica. You found your man. Don't hate. Let me live this. Let me vent. You're off the strip. I am still on it. I'm in the trenches, and it sucks. I'm sick of being independent. I fucking hate paying for my fucking Range Rover, my other car, my mortgage insurance, my freaking cell phone, computer, Wi-Fi. I am sick of it. I need some guy with bad health to jump on in and interrupt and say, let me take you off your shift. You've been working hard enough. So that's cute what she's doing. I'm not doing that. We are different. I'm tired. I've proven myself. And it only impresses other women. She's like, oh, that's amazing. My friends are independent. These men don't care. Come and save me, some chic, minus the dookie. Just please, come and save me. I'm tired. I'm tired, Erica. I don't want to do it no more. Where's my, Melania? I want the Melania Trump plan. I'm sick. I've proven myself. Since 1988.
At 88.
I'm tired. I was 15 out of paper route.
Damn, that's a long time.
72 clients. 30-cent tip for some of you bastards in East Providence, Rhode Island on 2nd Street. I remember I gave you papers 7 days a week, and on Sunday you gave me a 30-cent tip. I'm tired. So I'm glad it worked out for you, but I'm not there.
Being a strong, independent woman since
Overrated.
1988 is a lot, Claudia.
Since Salt and Pepper came out.
That's a lot.
I'm tired.
Damn.
So, yes.
Damn.
Excuse me if I'm a little frustrated. So I envy the girls that got taken off the pole, so to say. I'm over it. No one cares. Nobody cares about independence anymore. But I respect it, but they don't.
I hope you enjoy that and hope it gave you a different perspective. I have nothing against independent women or boss babes, but we've glorified this culture for the past 10 years, and we've never seen the result of doing it for a long time.
I have given up on dating completely. I kind of came to the conclusion that I'm better alone, for sure, because I feel like every time I get into a relationship, it kind of just makes me go insane. Like, not actually insane, you know, but I just worry too much, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm insecure, it's just that I had a boyfriend of 4 years that, like, completely destroyed me. So, I think I've given up. Unless someone on a reality TV show, casting director, is watching this, then put me on. Put me on. I want to get on there. Get on that horse.
I feel like everybody looks at dating shows as a solution for all their dating problems, but the reality is it's the worst thing that you could do for your mental health. This might sound harsh, but you're a little traumatized, and this whole I'm never going to date again, it'll fade away. When you pick the wrong people over and over and over again, or for a long period of time, you start to give up on the idea of partnership because so much of your life has been invested into something that's not actually working. And so a lot of times to soothe our own minds, we go to an extreme where we say, I'm never going to do this again. I'm never going to be in this situation again. I'm never going to date, so on and so forth. And so you can adopt that identity right now. But I promise you, if you pick the right guys, if you go towards healthy relationships, and sometimes you need a big heartbreak to do that, it will start to fade and you'll start to be optimistic towards dating again.
Did you people see that video where they were asking men that if they were women for 1 week, what would they do? And do you realize that none of them wanted to be submissive? None of them wanted to dress decent. None of them wanted to be all the things they told you to be. All of them wanted to do a shower. All of them suddenly they want to do OnlyFans. They want to date. They want to be free. If you have ears, you will know that what men tell you is not what they mean. They want to shrink you. It's coming from misogyny. They don't like you. Because when it reach your turn, you see saying that when it be your turn, you won't do OnlyFans. You want to be promiscuous. Suddenly you don't care about body counts. Suddenly you don't care about all those things that you will criticize a woman for doing. Suddenly you don't want to be a submissive wife. Suddenly you don't want to be a praying wife. So easy. You know easy now. All of now they tell us more we do. When it reach your turn, I won't be. May God help you people. May God deliver you people.
I love her accent. I think she's from Yoruba, but I'm not sure. But the thing is, men are thinking like men in the body of a woman. If we flipped the script and you told, hey, woman, what would you do if you were a man for the day? I'm sure they would not want to go and spend all their hard-earned money on a girl, opening doors for her, doing every single thing from A to Z. I'm sure they wouldn't want to go up to girls and ask them on first dates, only for the majority of them to reject them and then just keep trying and trying and trying again. See, I understand your anger and humor with it, but fundamentally, men and women think differently, so even if you were to switch their bodies, it just wouldn't be the same. In fact, this highlights the whole idea of masculine and feminine nature. A man in a woman's body is going to do masculine things that they don't necessarily want you to do as a woman. So fundamentally, it actually makes sense. And a woman inside a man's body would probably not want to provide, protect, chase, be chivalrous, which makes her more feminine as a man in that situation. So in my opinion, their answers make complete sense, and that's exactly why men are in men's bodies and women are in women's bodies.
Any man that thinks that's in the dating world that thinks that a woman with children is baggage shouldn't be dating. And I think that that's an insult to motherhood. A woman with children is not baggage. So you saying that sounds very insulting. And
how is it insulting?
It is. Because are you a father?
I am a father.
Okay. Are your children, are your two little girls that you have back at home that you care very much about, are they baggage as well?
How can my kids be baggage? What do you mean?
Right.
So if I was dating you, and I don't have any kids, and I was dating you, would you be? Should I consider to disqualify you because you have kids?
Okay, I see what you're saying. If I was single, well, the difference is this. Let's go ahead and have this conversation because maybe you ladies can learn a thing or two, right? So the difference is a single man with kids is much different than a single mother with kids, because in the relationship dynamic, the man is the protector and the provider, generally speaking, and most women want the man to protect them, to provide.
Correct.
So if a woman has kids and that man is entering a relationship with that woman, at some point in time, he would have to provide tangible things for that child. The difference is, it's not the same in reverse. If the woman is dating a man that has kids, the man does not expect the woman to ever pay any tangible things to his child. That's the difference, meaning that it's baggage. Not only do I have to pay for you, I have to pay for your kids as well. That's why it's baggage on the woman's end.
I think that's what I'm saying. It's 100% baggage for the guy as well. You're telling me that you're not going to have baby mama drama at all? Have we not just seen the Brittany Renner, PJ Washington situation? Tell me that your schedule is 100% free because you don't have to take your kid to soccer practice or school the next day. You're not going to tell me that your finances are not going to be affected by you having a kid. Your mindset's going to be different towards money because you're going to think about saving for your kid or things that you're planning for the future or the bills that you have to pay for child support and alimony. We demonize single mothers so much for picking the wrong guys, and that's why you're a single mother. Well, it's the same thing for men. You couldn't find a girl that would stay submissive and loyal to you, and because she don't respect you, that's why she effectively left the relationship. And he talks about how a man is a provider, but let's be real. If you're dating a guy that has children, you're not going to go and babysit the kid sometimes. You're not going to have to talk to the kid. You're not going to have to be nice to the child. Even though those costs may not be tangible, there's still things that people do in relationships. This argument of being a single father is no baggage whatsoever is completely BS, because you could date a guy that does not have kids, that does not have baby mama drama, that does not have to take a portion of his finances and dedicate it towards raising a child that has nothing to do with you. More importantly, you don't have to deal with another child looking at you as a stepmom and taking on that responsibility of parenthood. It's 100% baggage for the guy as well. You're telling me that you're not going to have baby mama drama at all? Have we not just seen the Brittany Renner, PJ Washington situation? Tell me that your schedule is 100% free because you don't have to take your kid to soccer practice or school the next day. You're not going to tell me that your finances are not going to be affected by you having a kid. Your mindset's going to be different towards money because you're going to think about saving for your kid or things that you're planning for the future or the bills that you have to pay for child support and alimony. We demonize single mothers so much for picking the wrong guys, and that's why you're a single mother. Well, it's the same thing for men. You couldn't find a girl that would stay submissive and loyal to you, and because she don't respect you, that's why she effectively left the relationship. And he talks about how a man is a provider, but let's be real. If you're dating a guy that has children, you're not going to go and babysit the kid sometimes. You're not going to have to talk to the kid. You're not going to have to be nice to the child. Even though those costs may not be tangible, there's still things that people do in relationships. This argument of being a single father is no baggage whatsoever is completely BS, because you could date a guy that does not have kids, that does not have baby mama drama, that does not have to take a portion of his finances and dedicate it towards raising a child that has nothing to do with you. More importantly, you don't have to deal with another child looking at you as a stepmom and taking on that responsibility of parenthood.
The goofiest thing a man can literally ever say to you is, I don't chase women. Like, okay, princess, go find your husband.
Dudes are like, I don't chase women. Okay, bro, then go find your man.
I love when guys think it's a flex to be like, I don't chase women. Okay, bye. Go find your husband then. Like, I'm all set.
Isn't it funny how it always comes down to shaming men when they don't give you what you want? This whole trend comes from the movement that men are having where they're not chasing women anymore. And I want to be brutally honest with you. The majority of men are going to have no choice but to chase women, because the only other option is to naturally attract women to you, which really only happens to the top 10% of men. But over the years, more so recently, chasing women as a dating strategy has become extremely inefficient for men, because men are expected to invest everything and guaranteed nothing in return. Taking a woman on dates, buying her flowers, doing everything that she wants you to do, it doesn't necessarily work the way that you think. Yes, women say this. Yes, women say they want a man that does X, Y, and Z. But the moment that you give her so much energy, so much time, so much effort, she starts to look at you as lower than her. Because men and women in society's eyes are equal. And when you are doing everything for someone that's equal to you, you are pedestalizing them and making yourself look worse. And even if you catch her, the power dynamic is off because she's the one that's calling all the shots. I think as a man, the best thing you can do is just focus on you. Focus on your purpose, focus on your money, focus on your health, focus on your fitness, focus on creating a life that makes people say, wow, what do you do for a living? I want to be around you. And that's how you start to naturally attract high quality women into your life. And yes, there are those women out there that will never talk to a man, even if they like him, even if he checks off all the boxes. The only thing that I can say about those women is that they're imprisoned to the men that select them. When you are not going out and talking to people, when you are not trying to start the first conversation or at least make a move, you are always going to be stuck with the people that choose you instead of the other way around. And so this brings me to my final point. If you like somebody, if you're interested in them, go ahead and talk to them, whether you're a girl, whether you're a guy. But this idea of men should be the only ones chasing, it doesn't necessarily work anymore because we have a much more promiscuous society. We have dating apps, we have social media. Women are rejecting men a lot more today because there's an abundance of options. It doesn't really work out for a lot of men. The men that I find that are the happiest, that are the most fulfilled, and that are really winning in dating are the ones that are choosing the women that are interested in them. And as you become more and more successful, women will undeniably be more attracted to you. Take a look at any successful man, celebrity, athlete, influencer, or just a guy that does really well in business. He is not chasing women, and the quality of women that he has to choose from are the highest that are out there on the dating market.